Om Bhurбhuvasvaham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam. So hi everyone, this video is usually based on your questions. So today's question is Ramakrishna spoke of two basic concepts of God in the Vedic tradition, Bhagavan and Brahman. Please do explain. First of all, let me remind you who Ramakrishna was. So actually it's a great divine master, great guru who lived in the second half of 19th century in Calcutta, east part of India. And for the Western world, Ramakrishna is extremely important as the guru of Swami Vivekananda, who in the very end of 19th century was actually the first great Indian mystic who just came to the United States, and really at that time he was preaching authentic Vedanta for the Western people for the first time. Yeah, that's a really interesting question, because in Vedic philosophy there are two major approaches to the Lord God. In one of them, in Sanskrit language, we call Bhagavan, and the second one is the Brahman. Actually, in the Vedic tradition, in the Vedic philosophy, there are so many schools and branches, philosophical concepts and traditions. But at the same time, all of them, they basically stick to the one or another concept, Bhagavan or Brahman. Bhagavan is God creator, and in a sense, supreme, the greatest divine personality, supreme personality of the God the creator. So this is Bhagavan. And a Brahman means absolute consciousness, which is impersonal. What is very special and unique in the Vedic Hindu tradition, that all possible spiritual and philosophical approaches, actually they really exist in the Vedic Hindu tradition. For example, if we take all Biblic traditions like Judaism, Christianity, Islamic religion, they're all based on the concept of Bhagavan. If we describe it in a Sanskrit language, it means for all Biblic religions, basically God is the supreme personality, and it's like creator. And in this sense, we may relate with this supreme personality, and it means we may pray to God, we may speak with God, we may receive certain blessings. And of course, in the Bible, we know quite a lot of examples of punishment from the Lord. Anyway, God is the greatest person in the universe. So that's the picture of Bhagavan, which we see in the Hindu religion and in the Biblic religions as well. But at the same time, the other picture of the Lord, which is Brahman, and that is impersonal consciousness, absolute consciousness, which is impersonal. That is extremely important. It means Brahman, this concept is about God who is not person. You can't speak with a Brahman, you can't communicate, you can't pray to the Brahman, because Brahman is impersonal consciousness, and this is essence of your being, of your soul. And actually Brahman is not person, and it means if you take whole universe, put it together somehow, and that's going to be Brahman. It means we are part of that Brahman anyway. And there are many religions which based on that concept of Brahman. for example, Buddhist religion, for example, Jain religion, and Chinese Taoist tradition as well. I mean to say, of course, Buddhist tradition and the Jain tradition, it was born actually, it came into existence out of Vedic Hinduism. And please remember that the founder of Buddhist tradition, Buddha Shakyamuni, and the founder of Jain religion is Mahavira. Both of them actually lived back like kind of 6 centuries before Jesus, and it means actually they both Buddha and Mahavira, they born in India and in a Hindu basically tradition, and then later on Buddha created his own tradition which became later on Buddhism, and Mahavira created his own school which later on like separated itself from the Hindu religion and became Jain religion. Anyway, we can see that many different global religions, they use more like sometimes concept of Brahman, that's Buddhism, Jainism and Taoism, and sometimes concept of Bhagavan, which is personal God. That's all the Biblic religions. But very interesting that inside the Vedic Hindu religion, both approaches are absolutely existing, coexisting, and people who are practicing meditation, self-inquiry, they may choose, how to understand, how to approach God as the supreme personality and creator, or maybe like absolute consciousness. Well, your question, which I have on my computer, actually about Ramakrishna, who was really preaching this to philosophical concepts, God as supreme personality and God as absolute impersonal consciousness. And you know what's interesting about Ramakrishna, that he actually repeatedly told his disciples, devotees, just visitors, very interesting thing, that just listen carefully, you can choose, that's your choice, how to approach God as the supreme personality, or maybe as absolute consciousness, which is impersonal. You can choose, that's your choice, and any choice is going to be right. So it's not the question that this choice is right and another one is wrong. No, any choice is right. And more than that, Ramakrishna told to his devotees and disciples that actually God is both supreme personality and impersonal consciousness. Logically speaking, it's impossible to understand. Let me emphasize, logically, but at the same time, because the supreme reality of the Lord is beyond logic, so it's basically not a problem at all. It means Ramakrishna himself was not choosing this or that. He was, for himself, accepting completeness of supreme reality. So it means it was very easy for him to combine this approach to the Lord God as the supreme personality and at the same time impersonal absolute consciousness.